Hey everyone, I am Tansha Iqbal and welcome back to my YouTube channel. Now we are going to solve second question of today's bi-weekly contest 151. Okay, so let's see what is this question and how we can solve it. So this is find the number of copy arrays in which you are given an array original of length n and a 2D array bounds of length n by 2 and where bounds I are ui and vi. Okay. And you need to find the number of possible arrays copy of length n such that copy of I minus copy of I minus 1 should be equals to original of I minus original of I minus 1 where I is less than I n minus 1 less than or equals to n minus 1 and copy of I should remain in the bounds of ui and vi where ui and vi was bounds of I. Okay, so you need to return the number of such copy arrays which satisfies both of these conditions. Okay, so let's see. So you have been given with this original array of size n and this bounds array of dimensions n by 2, and you need to create copy arrays which should satisfy these two conditions, and you need to return the number of copy arrays you can create. Okay, so what you can do is, see, let's start creating a copy array. So first element can be 1, okay, as it is the first element of this bounds. Okay, now let's try creating the second element. Second element difference should be 2 minus 1, 1. Okay, so let's add that difference in the first element. So it will become 2. Can 2 be the second element? Yes, it will remain in bounds. Okay, now the difference for the third element is 3 minus 2, 1. Okay, so 3, let's add that difference here. Okay, now it will become 3. Can 3 be the third element? Yes, it is in bounds. Okay, now let's try finding the fourth element. 4 minus 3, 1. Okay, so let's add 1 in 3, it will become 4. Yes, it is also in bounds. Okay, now let's try creating the another copy array again. Now let's update our first element by 1. Okay, now it will become 2 and our difference was 1. So we will add 1 in this 2, it will become 3. Can 3 be our second element? Yes, it also satisfies the bounds. Now again add the difference which was 1. Now it will become 4. Yes, it also satisfies the bounds. Now again add the difference. Yes, it also satisfies the bounds. Okay, now let's try creating more copy arrays. Let's update our first element by 1. Now let's, oh no, this can't be the first element because it doesn't satisfy the bounds. Okay, so it means we got our answer that we can create only 2 copy arrays. Okay, but is it really necessary to create all the copy arrays to find the count of copy arrays which we can create which satisfy these two conditions? Okay, let's see. No, because as we have seen how we were creating the copy arrays, we were just finding our first element and then keep on adding all the differences in the subsequent elements. So let's see how we don't need to create the copy array every time. Okay, so let's take the second example in which original is 1, 2, 3, 4, bounds are 1, 10, 2, 9, 1, 10, 2, 9, 3, 8, 4, 7. Okay, 3, 8, 4, 7. Okay, so our first element can be under the bounds of 1 and 10, right? Yes. Okay, so our second element can be under the bounds of the difference of this is 1. So 1 plus 1, 2, 10 plus 1, 11. So second element can be under the bounds of 2 and 11. Yes, but in the input we have been given that the second element can be between 2 and 9 only. So what we can do, we can take the intersection of this. So it will become 2, 9, right? So our second element can be only between 2, 9. Okay, now let's again 2. The difference between these two elements are 1. So the third element can be between 2 plus 1, 3, 9 plus 1, 10. Okay. So the third element can be between 3 comma 10 according to the first condition, which satisfies the difference condition. But we have also been given with this bounds. So let's again take the intersection of these two, as it is saying that third element can be only between 3 comma 8. So now it will become 3 comma 8. Okay, now let's try finding the interval of the fourth element. So the difference for this will be also be 1. So 3 plus 1, 4, 8 plus 1, 9. Okay, so according to the first condition, the fourth element can be between 4 and 9, but according to the bounds, the fourth element can be between 4 and 7. So let's take its intersection. So the fourth element can be only between 4 comma 7. So how we are taking intersection this? Maximum of lower bound and minimum value of the upper bound. In this way only we can take the intersection, because see, if we need to take the intersection of 4 comma 10 and let's say 5 comma 6. So how we take the intersection of maximum of these two, it means maximum of lower bound, and minimum of upper bound, it means minimum of 6 comma 10. So that this is this maximum of lower bound and minimum of upper bound will give us the intersection of these two, of any two intervals. Okay, so what we have got from here is that our first element can be between 1 comma 10, second can be between 2 comma 9, third can be between 3 comma 8, and fourth can be between 4 comma 7, which will satisfy both the conditions according to the bounds and according to the difference as well, right? So in this case you can say that this bounds and these are same, but this was just a coincidence. But in most of the cases it is going to be different, because as we have seen that we are satisfying both the conditions, and after that we have got this result. Okay, so does these intervals really matters for us? No, the interval which matters for us is only this for the answer. Why? Because this will going to give us the minimum answer, minimum number of copy arrays. Because see, here it is saying that there can be 10 possibilities of the first number. It is saying that there can be 8 possibilities of second number. It is saying that there can be 6 possibilities of second number, and it is saying that there can be 4 possibilities of fourth number. So among all of these numbers, we need to get the minimum of these numbers. But anyways, as we are taking intersection at every step, so the last interval is always going to give us the minimum number, and this minimum number is our number of copy arrays which we can create from the original array and the bounds, which will satisfy both the conditions, right? So what we have done is, first we have taken this one bound of first bound, and then we added the difference of the first element in that bound, and then took the intersection of that bound with the given bound, and the one which we get now is the number of elements which we can choose for that element, and we keep on doing this thing again and again till we reach our last number. And how we will get the answer? Upper bound minus lower bound plus 1 at this very last stage, right? Okay, so let's try code this so you will get a better idea. So n is original dot size, and let's initialize our lower bound with bounds of 0 comma 0 and upper bound with bounds of 0 comma 1 and diff with, let's say, 0. Now let's start iterating in our original vector from 1, right? And let's store the diff original of I minus original of I minus 1. And what we need to do? We need to add that in our bounds for now. So lower bound is equals to lower bound plus diff, upper bound is equals to upper bound plus diff, and then we need to update our lower bound with maximum of lower bound comma bounds of I0 and upper bound with minimum of upper bound comma bounds of I1. It's I, yeah. Now we will return our upper bound minus lower bound plus 1, and the number of copy arrays should be only positive. So we will apply one more condition that if it is greater than or equals to 0, only then return upper bound minus lower bound plus 1 or else return 0. If this number goes negative, it means there is no case in which we can create any of the copy arrays. So we will simply return 0. Okay, let's try run this. Yeah, it's working fine. Let's try submitting it. So yeah, it's working fine. Now let's talk about its time and space complexity. So as you can see, we are doing only single iteration. So its time complexity will be big O of n, and as we have not used any extra space, so its space complexity will become big O of 1. So yeah, this was all for this question. I hope you get it. This was a little bit tricky question. Yeah, but yeah, I hope you get it. But if you still have any doubts, then you can post in the comment section. I will surely try to answer them. Till then, bye guys. See you in the next video.